So, in the last attack with the Orks, Orks attacked here, but were beaten back for the first win for the Tyranids. So he sits there. Now my next attack will be at one of the manufacture rooms of the Tyranids, which for the background of this is a digestion pool, while mine are Big Mac factories. Tyranids will be a digestion pool. So, and if I do win, the Tyranids from now on will have 50 points less in every single battle. And so we commence the battle. And the digestion pool does give the Tyranids extra powers. What we've decided that anyone that's on the base of the digestion pool, they get to roll if they've lost anyone. D3 guys spawn back, like they get the acids make them, and
so they can get an additional 3 up to additional 3
guys.
Is that for every turn that they're within range? Or?
Yes, every turn they're within their range.
But if it's contested, does that still apply?
No, it still applies.
Still applies. Okay, so it seems like that's important. Can the Orks try to blow that up with some type of ordnance?
Probably.
Or okay, well, we'll just have to see. Take a look what the Orks have. Perhaps they have something explosive. Okay.
Alright, be back to you with that game. Alright, so I've attacked the digestion pool, which is represented by this. I know it doesn't look very nice, but I'm gonna paint it up and make it look a lot nicer and stuff. And so here I'll tell you the rules for these later. How it works is we got my Orks here. We're playing Spearhead and Annihilation, Table Quarters. Table Quarters, I think it's still called Spear. I don't know. Table Quarters and Annihilation. And so, Volender went first, and I could not steal the initiative. So, tell us what is in your army, Volender.
Okay, well, just trying to go with, this is a little bit over 1,500 points, so I needed a smaller HQ, and I went away from the Hive Tyrant. Just kind of been hearing it's better to go with, he may not be as good as all the points that he costs. So I'm going with this guy, Tyranid Prime. Basically, he has rending claws, and he has a death spitter, which is like, you know, a little bit better devourer type gun. I still do have the Hive Guard back here just to allow me to maybe pop some tanks if I can. I have 20 Hormigons. 20 Hormigons
and
here.
And the Tyranid Primes with this one squad of Hormigons.
Yes, that's right.
Painted Hormigons.
Yeah.
Unpainted Hormigons.
They're just by themselves. But basically they have adrenal glands and toxin sacs. These two guys are
the two Tyranid
venom thropes, just to provide some type of cover saves if they need that.
Tyranid Guard are approximating as venom thropes.
Yeah. And then I do have my Turbigon for my main HQ. He has the Catalyst ability, and he has toxin sacs and adrenal glands, which will allow some of these guys to have them within 6 inches, I think. So they do not, but they have devours. 13 of them have devours. The rest just have the normal guns. In reserve, I have the Gene Stealers, but I have these the Yarmgal. Yimgarl. Okay, the Y Gene Stealers. I'm gonna say that for
the YMCA.
Well, yeah, but anyway, these guys. I have them in reserve. I have these guys in a spore, which are zoanthropes, again, just so I can go ahead and try to pop some tanks. This guy's my Doom Malative in a spore. So that's basically what I have. Kind of coming down from 2,000 points to 1,500 was a bit difficult, but that's what I have.
And a question. I don't think your venom thropes are allowed to be that far apart. It's supposed to still be within unit core Hincy.
Oh, okay. I was trying to get it so that they could kind of like protect 2 groups.
Well, yeah, they're still within 6 inches, though, the 2 groups. It just have to be 2 inches.
Let me do this.
Alright, so now my army. Very small compared to that. No, it's not that small. But, so I got 10 looters right here. Got a looted wagon. Got a truck full of boys. battle wagon filled with knobs and a Big Mac custom force field, another truck filled with boys, another truck filled with boys, 3 killicans, and no death copters.
So 3 trucks, a battle wagon, and a looted wagon? Is that right what I heard?
Yes.
Okay.
That's basically all the vehicles I have in my army. And no death copters, so that could be my breaking factor, but...
Okay, now do we want to talk a little bit more about...
yes, the digestion pool. This is... How it works is... It's the digestion pool, which is basically makes Tyranid babies, or whatever. The hive mind uses them as acid to make more Tyranids. How it works is any of the Tyranid models, besides things that have wounds that are on the base, so like this squad of Termagants lost like 10 guys, and it moves on top of the base, it rolls a D3, and then so a D3, that would be 2 against 2 extra guys would come back from that. It's making more guys to replace them, and to destroy it. And which even if the Orks lose it but destroy it, the digestion pool's still up, so they don't lose the 50 points. Because if I win the game, Tyranids for the rest of all the games we play will have 50 points less. But what we've said is the digestion pools, because Tyranids do not have metal or vehicles or anything, they just have wounds and lives. These digestion pools it's gonna count as 1 digestion pool, even though it looks like 2. They have 5 wounds each.
Oh, 5?
Yeah, 5. Remember.
Okay,
5 wounds each, but with a toughness of 7 and an armor save of 4. So, but they cannot do any kinds of attacks. They can
just do armor saves and then spawn creatures after the second round. The first round they can't. Let's say the second round I get in a control, not a control, but if I get on here, is that at the beginning of the?
It'll be it'll be right after the movement phase is over. We'll do it.
And that'll continue on as long as there's a Tyranid model in this area, even if it's contested by an Ork.
Yes.
But if there's no Tyranids, then they don't get that advantage for that particular turn.
And that's to be on top of the cardboard. That's the base. Alright. So, now we'll go into the game. Tyranid's gonna go first. End of Tyranids Turn 1. Why don't you tell us what happened, Volender?
Okay, everyone was so far away that I just, the Orks, obviously, my enemy, I just moved, I ran, and that's all I did. So I moved these guys up 6, I rolled, I got 6 on the run, so they kind of developed the majority of this board here. These Venom Throats just ran 1. These Termagants moved 6, and then they ran 6 as well. These guys moved 6, ran 6. He gave Catalyst to... Who did he give the Catalyst to?
Termagants.
Termagants, yeah. And then these guys, I just spawned 6, and I died, and I lost that ability.
Yeah.
4, 2, 2, 2.
First time he's rolled 3 of the same dice, and first time less than double digits.
Yeah, most of the times I roll like 12 or 14. One time I even rolled 16. It was pretty amazing. This is pretty bad. And I have never been able to use that ability twice, so I'm starting to think maybe it's not worth it once. Anyway, my turn is over. Totally in control of this.
Yeah, Tyranids move up,
go around,
taking the digestion
I
pool.
will go ahead and roll D3 at the start of my second phase.
Alright, so I went. What I did was move up all my guys. I did not press it, so my looter wagon was able to shoot. Both my trucks shot at the Hormagon tier, killed a couple. This truck right there, shot. These Hormagons killed 1. Then these looters shot 3 shots each, 30 shots into the Hormagons, killed many more. Looter wagon shot into the Hormagons, trying to hurt the digestion pool. Instant killed a Venom Throat and killed a couple Hormagons. Then these guys moved forward, assaulted and killed the rest of the Hormagons and Tyranid Prime. The death of a knob and a wound on 1 knob. There were only like 7 Hormagaunts left. So that was the end of my first turn. So now we're going to go into Tyranids Turn 2.
In the Tyranid Phase 2, Tyranids rolled. I rolled. Dumamelantai came in. My Zoanthropes and the Spore came in. I did roll for my D3 replacements of people. Since I had control of this gene pool, whatever it's called, I did roll. I got some guys back. I got one guy back for this area for the unpainted Tyranids. Other things I did, I just ran these guys up, got them 6 inches closer, moved everyone up 6 inches. Forgot to shoot these guys. Those Zoanthropes, they shot and did some direct blasts, warp lances at some of the Orks. There were originally 10 Ork mobs, 10 knobs there. Took 2 out, I believe. Well, with the warp lances, took 2 out. The Devourers, I shot all my guys, well, all my 13 that had Devourers, and then I had like about 8 or so that of the other guys that shot. Took them down to just about 2, maybe about 3 or 4 knobs, because this Dumamelantai actually killed a guy, maybe, and then this Spore took out some lives. So basically everything was just all my firepower directed at those group of 10 knobs. The last 2 knobs were, well, they weren't charged, but they were assaulted by these Termagants, and the Hormagaunts, yeah, they just barely killed. They had 10 wounds against those last 2 guys, and they just barely killed them. So good. They went back to get their. They consolidated backwards to get to safe places. But again, I forgot to shoot these guys. Oh well. So it's end of my turn.
Alright, so it's the end of my turn 2, yes. Came out with all my Orks from all my trucks. Shot at all the everything I had out the Hormagaunts except for like my Orks. Killed them down to 3 guys left, which are right there. Then I assaulted with all my boys, the Termagants. They did kill like 7 guys, which was all in that squad. They hurt that squad pretty bad. But then I was able to kill them. I consolidated forward. And it's basically all that happened. So this is going to be Tyranids Turn 3. Well, and they'll probably roll for those reserve Gene Stealers to try to come in. Yimgarl, Gene Stealers. Sorry, my voice. Alright, I'll be back to you with that.
End of turn 3. First thing I did was I tried to roll to get my Gene Stealers in. I rolled a 2, so they did not come in. They're still being useless. Next thing I did, I rolled D2 or D3 for these acid pools, and I rolled a 4. Got 2 of these Hormagaunts back. Moved these guys towards the group of 12 Orks that were over there. Moved these guys from this position to the group of 5 or 6 Orks that were left over from here. Moved these guys up. Moved this guy here. Moved and shot. Whittled down that group of Orks by blasting them with 2 blasts from the Zoanthropes. Killed about 7 of them. These guys shot, killed the other 4. These 2 guys, the Hive Guard, took out the knob. The group of 5 Orks here, I charged with the Hormagaunts, killed them off. Well, Hormagaunts and this guy, the Turbagon, killed them off, and then they consolidated back there. Dumamelantai grabbed the wound from their failed leadership, killed 1 Ork, and then he did a blast and killed another Ork, I believe, maybe 1 or 2. Came in, assaulted, and no, wait a second, I failed my leadership. I didn't do a blast. That's right. But, well, I killed an orc in assault because I just wanted to hold these guys up. I lost a wound, so it was a tied combat. I guess not as bad as it was before, but still, the Tyranids have no chance. Still holding on to this little piece of property here, but I mean, there's just so much firepower that haven't even come into play that it's over for the Tyranids. But we'll get back to that in this next turn when the Orks go again.
Alright, it's end of my turn 3. Moved up, tanks forward. My Orks pressed it in the looter wagon, so since they couldn't move all the way up because it was looters in front of me, just stayed there, but he couldn't shoot. Looter showed them I said explore the Stinger salvo upgrade, bringing down to 2 wounds left. I assaulted it with the killer cans, killed it, consolidated back. Over here, fought.
These guys, Radzukas, blew up my 4 remaining guys.
5 remaining baby termagants.
And I took out 2 in assault.
Yeah.
And I didn't lose him. He made his leadership.
And so now we're going to go into Tyranids Turn 3.
Probability. Not one of my easily understood concepts in arithmetic, but in an ability, or my attempt to bring in the Gene Stealers, I rolled, being the 4th turn, I needed a 2. I rolled a 1. I angrily said, I couldn't believe it. I rolled another 1. Finally, I rolled a 6. This was just for fun, obviously. But in the course of 5 times, I rolled 4 ones. So you could kind of out of anger and just like futility and laughter. Yeah. So anyway, they did not come in. First time I rolled 1. Okay. Anyway, the rest of the game and my round, I moved the Zonothropes up to be able to get closer to this tank that was there. One guy tried to, oh hey, some more. One guy tried to make his psychic test. He rolled 2 1s, and I failed my leadership, so that's what, 6 1s in the course of 1 turn. Over here, one of my guys did get his psychic leadership, and he shot a warp lance, blew up. Did he blow up the tank? No, he actually took away the gun. These guys here shot the tank and blew it up. So it exploded. These guys here, the Gene Stealer, or the Hormagaunts, actually, they're doing pretty good for such a small group. They moved from behind this cover. They ran and they assaulted the remaining 5 or 6 Orks, maybe, I don't know how many were there, that were in combat with the Doom Malantai. So they basically took out those Orks, and this guy kind of came up just in case, but he was not needed. The groups consolidated. They just went further into the acid pit. Doom and Malantai just stayed there pretty much. This guy moved away from the killer cans, which are coming with their power weapons, assault. And that's about it. That's my turn, and it will be now Ork turn, with the killer cannons in pursuit of the remaining Tyranids.
Looking through this, it always seems like dirty with dice are bored. But so end of my turn 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah, turn 4.
So move basically tanks back. I'm waiting for them to get killed by anything. Shot my looters at the Mycetic Spore, killed it. Got a truck to shoot at. This took away the last wound of one of the Zoanthropes, killed 1. Shot a bunch of shots into Hormagaunts, really didn't do much. Then I assaulted them with the killer cans, finished them off, consolidated back. And just also getting moved this. I was able to finally shoot that, even though it didn't do anything. Just getting ready for the Yimgal genes that will automatically come on this turn. Alright, we'll be back to you for that.
End of Tyranid turn 5. This is the plateau or piece that I wanted my Gene Stealers to come out. Decided that during the game, beginning of the game. They came out, moved, ran, and assaulted the looters there. And I chose to give them 1 additional assault. They took out the looters there. And then they consolidated 1 inch, so I just spread them out a bit. As far as shooting goes, there was 3 killicans here. During shooting, that zone throw shot and took off weapon, I think, sword. These guys killed one. It was that or the other. One of these guys.
There's 2 left, or 1 left.
Yeah, there's 1 left. 2 of them died. 1 during shooting, 1 during assault. And at this point, does this guy have the power weapon or no? Okay, so I have 3 wounds in my turbogun. The Doom of Malantai, I think, helped to take down some of these guys. There used to be 3, but that's really all there is to report. We'll be back for turn 5 and rolling to see if the game ends.
Alright, so end of my turn 5. Killican finally dies, brought the turbogun down to 1 wound though. Killed all but 2 of the Gene Stealers, moved all my tanks back here. But it's turn 5, we're gonna roll, see if the game ends. Roll it. Game ends. So now we'll see, we'll count up the kill points and we'll be back to you with the kill points. Big dead pile. Even bigger dead pile. Alright, so we count up the kill points, and we'll count up the kill points once again though. Alright, so we got the occupants of this truck, occupants of that truck, occupants of this battle wagon, occupants of this truck, so that's 4. We got the truck, that's 5. Killicans, 6. Ludas, 7. Alright, and that's all we got, because all the other orc boys were just the occupants, like I said, and the knobs.
Every single orc boy died though, right?
Yes. Now let's see what you got, Bullender, your Tyranids.
Spore, normal spore that came through Malantai. Tyranid Prime,
3.
This guy, 4. These 26 guys, 20 guys, 20 guys, and the useless 6.
8.
It's 8. You won.
1 by 1.
I figured you would. I mean, it was a total massacre. It was.
At the very beginning. Then once my orcs died.
I mean, if I would have, I don't know, you would have had more time to shoot at my Gene Stealers, but man, my Gene Stealers coming in on turn 5 didn't help me. I mean, maybe they could have taken out 2 groups. I don't know. It's just, this was a total massacre. It doesn't even look as close as it was.
I had tanks left. That's all I had. You actually had people. All you had on the board were those 2 Gene Stealers, 1 wound on your turbogun, Doom Malantai, 2 Hive Guard, and that 1 zone throw. But yeah.
And I don't know how many times, twice, I didn't do my psychic warp lance because I missed the warp lance here and missed the warp lance there, possibly enabling me to at least blow up a tank or something. Man.
But alright, so we've had 6 battles. We had our first turn is over. But on these next few battles, we're going to have a few twists to battles to get up
to that. Can we say how many times who won, how many, or what was the deal? It was 5 orc wins, 1 Tyranid win. But of those 3 of them went down to ties that we won off. So, I mean, just very, very close except for a few occasions.
But alright, so coming up is going to be some twists in some games, and do some like assassinating games, and maybe just for the fun of it, maybe bring in some Space Marines just for like a game. Just
to get a little different than Orks and Tyranids. But
yeah,
we'll stay true to this for a while because it's getting interesting.
Alright, so I've took the digestion pools are mine. I can bathe in the Tyranid acids.